Hello, I'm Mrs. Hickling. By this time of year I would normally have done a parents meeting about reading, so I thought I'd make a little video just to give you some tips at home on how to read with the children, and also give you an idea of what we do at school to help. First of all, can you make sure it's a nice relaxed setting for reading? We want to make sure that reading is always enjoyable, and that is something that the children love to do. So bedtime is a great time as part of the enjoyable bedtime routine to get the book out and look at it together. Certainly no stress during reading, because we want children to always think of it with fond memories and to want to come and read. When your child brings a book home, they will have already had a book introduction from us, and they probably will have read the book with us as well. So don't think to yourself, oh, this is too easy, they can just read it straight off. They can read it straight off because they've already read it with us, and we want them to have a successful read every time they come to the book. So a book introduction for us would be, we tell them the title of the book, and we have a good look through, and we make sure that there's nothing that's going to cause them any problems, that they're going to have a successful read, so they feel good about reading and good about themselves reading. So for example, with this story, here is a robot. We probably will have taught them the word here by using an action, and the action is here. So pointing straight in front of yourself. Here is a robot. So when they come to the first page, they'll already be able to use their action to read, here is a green box. I was going to say green robot. Here is a green box. So the green is there to help them because it's in green. At this point, it's really important, this is the most important thing for me at this point, that the children are independent, so holding the book and turning the pages themselves, and pointing to every word as they read. What we want the children to realise is that as they read a word, they go over the finger space to point to the next word. So please try and make sure that even though your child might have read this book 5 times, that they're not doing this. They're not, because it's really, the pointing is really important and really helps them with the word recognition next time they come back to that word. The pictures are important as well, so please don't cover the pictures. The children are learning that they are telling a story, and as part of that, the context comes from the picture, so they use the picture to help them make sure that this makes sense. Once you get to try and make sure the child is as independent as possible. If they need some help, that's absolutely fine. And if they need help with the pointing, if you have to hold their finger to make sure they're pointing, for a little while that's okay, but then we are moving on to doing it independently. When they get to the end of the story, what we try and do is sit back and let them do it by themselves. And if they make a mistake, see if they can correct it by themselves. When they get to the end, we'd always try and give them a praise, most important, and possibly a prompt. So a praise could be, I loved how your finger was right under the words as you were saying them. Also, if you can see that your child uses the first letter of the word to help them, and this is not a great example because it's going to be a box or a brick or a block, which will start with B, but when they get to the last word, if they look at the picture and check that first sound, that is amazing. So that's a brilliant thing to praise. If their reading was quick or it's a good story voice, you can praise that as well. That's brilliant. Even their sitting position, if they seem to enjoy it, all of that is a good thing to praise at the end. A prompt might be if their finger was not quite under the word, or if they sounded a little bit robot. We are using robot arms for phonics at the moment. We don't want to mix that up with a robot voice when you're reading. We need a nice fluent voice. And at this stage, we are not sounding out words in these stories at the moment, simply because we've only just started phonics, we've only just started sounding out. It would be far too hard for the children at the moment to start sounding words out and putting them back together to be able to read the words. So that's not something really to suggest at the moment. It definitely will come, but not just yet. So I hope you have a lovely time reading. I will definitely post another video later with some more ideas, and if you have any problems, please write it in the planner, or you can give me or Mrs. Lunn a ring anytime, or Miss Brown, or just have a word with us at the end of the day and we can arrange to have a chat. Okay, thank you.